guys, so this is a review. A few people have asked about this Benefit Stay Don't Stray, what is it, a primer? I don't know, this is such a bizarre product in some ways. Stay Put primer for concealers and eyeshadows. Now, it's bizarre to think that you need a primer for concealer. I would think that it would start looking really, really cakey. And then somebody commented saying that one of the reps for Benefit said, no, it's just to be used as a concealer. But that doesn't really make sense to me either, because it actually says on it, it's a primer for concealers and eyeshadows. I can't remember, I think this was in the 20s. I'm not sure exactly what the price is. And as I mentioned before, when I had sort of shown this in a haul, I don't know if I'm the best person to review a product like this because I don't need primers for the reasons that most people would probably use a primer for your eyes, for your eyeshadow, which is to stop it from creasing or making your shadows last a lot longer. I never have a problem with creasing, probably the eye shape. And I have a really, really dry, dehydrated skin, so I don't have oily lids, and I don't have the kind of, the eyelids shape where they kind of go onto each other so that the skin sort of closes onto itself. As you can see, mine are really, kind of bizarro. And it's so funny because, by the way, for people who, have mentioned a lot of the comments that, I have sort of bizarre features being Asian and have I had surgery and all of those types of things. No, I haven't done any plastic surgery, probably because I'm the worst scar ever. I mean, if I can show you, these are from the little kittens that I've been taking care of. And I can't tell you, oh no, this is from the little kitten. These are from other foster kittens from like 2 months ago. And look at it, just a little scratch, not like a scratch, but like playing and just like using his foot to, you know, launch off of me kind of thing. And so yeah, I mean, I just scar so badly now that there's just not even any point. But anyways, what I will say is, for those of you who are younger and are thinking about, you know, we live in an age now where you can pretty much change anything and cater anything to spec. I didn't grow up in that era. You know, I grew up in sort of the 70s and 80s, and you just dealt with what you had. And I would really, really urge people who are young, like in their 20s, thinking about altering, you know, especially I was just watching this whole thing on Asians doing eyelid surgery. Eyelid surgery for, you know, to create a double fold or to create bigger eyes or more Western eyes, sort of Occidental eyes. It's a huge, huge, huge craze in Asia. And I actually read an article quite a few years ago, I can't remember if it was Newsweek or something, but they were saying that for students to come overseas, the first thing that they do is to get that surgery so that they're more accepted in the West, because they've heard the stories of racism and how difficult it is to assimilate in North America if you don't have a certain type of look, or, you know, beauty is praised and, you know, sort of westernized features. So you have all of these young girls in their teens and early 20s opting to do a surgery which in essence changes their features from Asian to more Western, which is bizarre because, you know, the whole thing about different races is their sort of exoticness and the sense that they're unique to that particular race. So you're just special right from the get-go. You know, every race is special because you're different, and there's a beauty about that. Even though internally we're all the same, we're just, you know, uniquely, we have something different to offer. Whether you be white in, you know, white or Caucasian who lives in Asia. You know, it's all sort of relative to where it is you are. So anyways, I don't want to get off on a rant, but my whole point was that your face changes so much as you age. My face looks so different than when I was a teen to 20s. I had a real moon pie sort of face, a humongousaurus face. And I always had these huge cheekbones, but if you can imagine, there really wasn't this sort of narrowness. I just had like this huge moon pie face, and my eyes were very, very flat. Very, very flat. They didn't have any contours. I mean, you could see maybe the tiniest line, but it was pretty much flat because I had a really fleshy, fatty face, which in some ways, I'm going to tell you this, when you've got a big fatty face when you're young, you might hate it then. Well, don't try and hate anything about yourself, but you know, it might drive you crazy then, but the fat is what's going to make you age better because fat sort of decreases and diminishes as you age. And if you have a lot to begin with, then as you're losing it, you still have a good ton of it. So if you can believe it, you know, my eyes, if you can see them now, plus for people who say, oh, have you had surgery? It's like, I don't know how you can get surgery to have eyes like this because I don't actually have that double fold that you get from a surgery. I have sort of a concaved in thing where I look like my dad now. My dad always had these eyes and I had the total flat sort of eye, and now I look more like my dad. So as you can see, all of that, this sort of concaveness really is losing fat and aging. That's all it is. If I was to show you a picture, I've got one picture of myself when I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. It doesn't even look like the same person. I don't even look like the same person. And, you know, it's a total like, you know, love you long time sailor kind of shot. It's so tacky. But anyways, if you saw that picture of me, you'd be like, that's not the same person at all because your face morphs and changes. I don't even know why I got onto this. Okay. This, right. So I don't have problems with creasing and I don't need things to have my shadows stay on longer just because of my eye shape and my dry skin. What I do use this for and what I love is the fact that all it does is neutralize the discoloration because the skin is so much thinner around your eyes, and you know, when you have your foundation on or your powder, whatever it is, that kind of evens out your skin tone. My eyes are a different color than the rest of my skin, so I just want it to be a blank sort of surface and canvas. So what I love about this, people have really complained. The biggest complaint of this is that when they push down the pump, they get a huge blob of product and it's such a waste. And it's true. But the trick is I literally just do that. So I can get the tiniest, tiniest amount. Because if you were to do more than that, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, this is even too much. It's that concentrated. But if you got too much, it would be a week's worth of product that you're wasting. So I do get the complaint. But, I mean, that little blob can spread and spread and spread. So even though that looks really, really pale on the camera, that's pretty much the color. When I put that on, it just neutralizes any of the redness, any of the discoloration, so that the eyeshadow that I use just goes on truer. So that's really the only reason why I really like this product and why I use it all the time. I found my paint pot just started to get dried out in soft ochre. My groundwork and my constructivist still stays moist and juicy, but for some reason that soft ochre is a dry, cakey mess, and I can put some argan oil and try and, you know, revive it, but I just wanted something a little bit more liquidy, a little bit easier. You know, the Laura Mercier Eye Basics I used for a long time. Stopped using it just because the color tones aren't right. It's a little bit too pinky for me because I'm really, really yellow, and Cotton was her yellowest, but it was really pale. So when I would put it on, it would make all my shadows lighter. So it wouldn't give the true sort of effect. So if you're looking for something to just neutralize any discoloration and you want a sort of thinner formula, I actually really, really like this. As you can see, once it's blended out, it kind of just neutralizes things. But I can't speak about it in terms of a primer with creasing or with keeping your shadow on for longer. I'm really sorry, but like I said, I don't have those problems, so this doesn't make a difference to me in that regard. I hope you found that helpful, and you know what, honestly, I'm so sorry about my earlier rant because I'm sure most of you, not all of you are Asian who watch my channel, so obviously it's only going to apply to a very, very small group of you, and so please, I hope you fast forwarded through that to get to the actual review. Thanks so much, guys.